All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the whole elect of Israel. And the title of this lesson is going to Be Ye Afraid of the Sword. All right, and going to the sword of the Lord, Yahweh Shai. That is one of the four sword plagues that the Lord is going to send upon the earth when he starts to bring forth his judgment. All right. So, as we know, as it is written, the Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men. All right. So, the Lord is going to use peoples, all right, as his sword. Okay. You know, the sword is just any weapon of destruction. Okay. Today, the modern day sword would be the gun. Okay. You know, you still have literal swords. All right. You have grenades. Okay. Rocket launchers. All right. Missiles. Okay. You know, so the Lord's going to send forth the sword upon the earth. All right. And the Lord's going to use, again, people. All right. And being specific, he's going to use the wicked, which is Esau, Edom. Okay. Which in this time is the Lord's sword. Okay. Which is why, Isaiah the 10th chapter, the 5th verse, the Lord said, "O Syrian, the rod of mine anger." All right. So here really quick, in the modern day Syrian, of course, today is Esau, Edom, Edomites. Okay. So-called Americans. All right. This is Psalm 17 and 23. Arise, O Lord Yahweh Shai, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay. So King David crying out to the Lord, to deliver, because he's speaking for who? Not only himself, but his house. All right. This is the house of David. Okay. So the Lord said, deliver my soul from the wicked, which he's speaking on behalf of all of us. Okay. Which is thy sword. Okay. Because the Lord raised up Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right. To what? To be the sword of the Lord. Okay. And on the left hand side. Okay. To what? To chastise the children of Israel. The Lord raised up Esau, Edom to come up against us. Okay. Just like he did the Assyrians, just like he did the Babylonians, okay, so on and so forth, just like the Egyptians, all right? Because again, the Lord ruled in the kingdom of men. All right, so again, the title's lesson being, be ye afraid of the sword, because why? Because the Lord's going to send forth the sword. Okay, Revelation 12 and 12, the devil's going to come down having great wrath, only but a short time. Okay, so going into the wicked really quick, let's establish who the wicked is, okay? It's Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shai of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. All right. All right. So Esau, Edom is considered the border of wickedness. All right. He is the border of wickedness. Okay. So wherever Esau, Edom is, you're entering where wickedness is the origin. Okay. The origin of wickedness goes to who? Esau, Edom. Okay. In his line. Okay. The Edomites. All right. So where it says, we're impoverished. Okay. Because the Lord, made his heritage waste. All right. Pretty much he has no heritage. His whole purpose and intent for him being in existence is Jeremiah 16:4. The Lord made all things for himself, even the wicked for that day of evil. So he's going to use Esau, Edom, so a white man, all right, for that day of evil. All right. And then, of course, the Lord is going to use Esau, of course, use him, okay, to bring forth his anger. But he's going to bring who? Yahweh Shai to finish off the job. Okay. We'll get into that as well, because he's pretty much Esau. He lives by the sword. He's going to die by the sword. He's going to fall on his own sword. Okay. So the Lord's pretty much, like they say, killing two birds with one stone. All right. So I'll read again. Malachi 1 and 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Okay. So when he fell, the Roman Empire fell. Okay. Going into that prophecy about the deadly wound being healed. Okay. Esau fell in the time of the Dark Ages. All right. Came back into power during the time of the Renaissance with Christopher Columbus, okay, in that time era to where we are now, to where Esau, Edom has revised the Roman Empire as so-called America, okay? But continuing, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shai of hosts, they shall build, right, but I will throw it down, all right? And going into this kingdom got built up, all right, and the Lord's going to throw it down. It's just like Legos, all right? And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. So, Esau, he is here, okay, for intent and purpose, okay, and that time when it's past, there's gonna be no need for him. That day of doom, okay, once the day of doom is past, all right, Esau, Edom, there's no need for him no more, all right. That's why he's going into chains and shackles, and after a period of time of slavery, he's going to be destroyed. But staying to the point of the lesson, okay, the Lord's going to use the wicked, all right, to come up against our people, okay? Because as we know, what in the what is it? I'm not, 1 Peter 3:17, if I'm not mistaken. All right, judgment shall begin first at the house of the Most High. All right, so so the Lord's gonna come up against our people, all right, with the sword, all right, and he's gonna use Esau, Edom, to do so, all right. But we're gonna take this. Let me really quick. So I made a point about the Lord raising up Esau to come up against our people. This is Amos chapter 9 and verse 8. I said verse 8, behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the whole earth. All right, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. So going in the time of Jacob's trouble, all right, we were going to have to go through this troublesome time, but the Lord says he's going to deliver us out of it. Okay. So the Lord's going to, of course, again, going into the destruction the Lord's going to bring, he's going to have mercy on a certain group of people being his elect. All right. Which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the true people of the Lord. All right. And keep on going to the point. Is verse 9. For lo, I will command and visit. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in the sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So that's why it's good to say now Israel is Israel. Okay. How's the Lord going to do siftings and use the angels? All right. But keep on reading because it's going to the point of why I brought this out. This is verse 10. Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So here you see Jake trying to liberate himself, okay, joining these militias, joining these other unprofitable groups. They're going to get them destroyed, okay? The Lord said they're all going to die by the sword. Because why? Because they are sinners. They have not been converted, all right? And the blood of Yahweh Shem Shai is not resting upon them. So they're not going to be covered in this time to come. All right, so the Lord's going to what? Use Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called white man, to come up against, the majority of 2/3 of their own people, okay? And going to those missiles, all right, those thermonuclear missiles. If you're left here in so-called America, all right, you're not beamed up from destruction, you are going to be destroyed by the sword, okay? If you made it that far, okay, if you got past the pestilence, if you got past, the other plagues that the Lord's going to send, all right, you're going to get hit by these thermonuclear missiles, all right? So that was the point I want to bring it now, verse 10, going to the Lord's going to, send that sword, Esau, Edom, so-called white man. So to keep getting on to the point, all right, it's Revelation chapter 6 and read verse 4, all right? Revelation 6 and 4, and there went out another horse that was red, all right? Just talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right? The true red man, all right? And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So going on to Esau, Edom, okay, what was his blessing? Okay, what was his blessing that Isaac, blessed Esau with, okay, which he would receive, all right, which is that great sword, all right? He has the fatness of the earth, all right, and he rules by the sword, okay? So that great sword is talking about Esau, Edom, so white man's blessing, okay? So that's how he's came into power, all right? But again, that's how he's going to, he's going to fall by his own sword, all right? But unless, again, that sword is talking about Esau, Edom, all right? Here, let me get another one. This is I'll read Isaiah 10 and 5, and then move on down to 15. It's Isaiah chapter 10, verse 5. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is my indignation. So the anger of the Lord is going to be upon, all right, Esau, Edom, all right, on the left hand side, okay? So here, this verse 15, Isaiah 10 and 15. Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? So the Lord is the one that is yielding, all right, Esau, Edom, okay? The Lord has Esau, Edom in the trick bag, the so-called white man in the trick bag, okay? Because the Lord is doing everything according to his counsel, according to his will, all right? So the Lord is yielding Esau, Edom, okay, on the left-hand side, all right? So continuing, or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaken it, all right, as if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up, okay, exactly, all right, or as if the staff should lift up itself as if it were wood. So this is pretty much going into that the Lord is the one in control, okay, and again, this is going to the left hand side of the Lord, okay. Obviously on the right hand side, the Lord said, ye are my battle axe, weapon of war, okay. talking about his men, okay, on the right hand side, okay, going into the Lord's elect, going into the 144,000 under Yabash Meshai, okay. But yeah, that was what I want to get. This is here to go into the title of lesson, go into the title of the lesson. So Job 19:29. Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know that ye may know there is a judgment. Okay, so that's why I scripture say the Lord judges in the earth. Okay, the Lord judges here on this earth. The Lord judges everything. Okay, but surely the Lord Yabash Meshai judges in the earth. Okay, he has man doing everything according to his will. All right, so going into that sword, okay, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, all right, that is going to be part of the Lord's judgment. Okay, so but going into the balance of this, okay, I can get another one. This is 2 Esdras 15 and verse 49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. So going into those plagues, all right, that's why I'm gonna bring that out, because again, the sword is part of the Lord's plagues. All right, and the Lord is going to use Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right, so here, this is here I can wrap this up. This is Psalm chapter 7. But this is why we don't have to worry about it. Okay, we don't have to worry about the sword of the Lord, because why? Because these things were created for the wicked. Okay, these things go into the Lord's plagues. They were designed and made for what? The wicked. All right, not the Lord's chosen. All right, this is Psalm chapter 7, and I'll start at verse 10. The Most High, it's lucky. Psalm 7 and 10. My defense is of the Most High, which saveth the upright in heart. So that's our defense. We don't need carnal weapons. Okay. Though we walk, we walk in the flesh, we don't war against the flesh. Okay, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. All right, our defense is the Lord. Okay, so here Psalm 7 and 10. My defense is of the Most High, which saveth the upright in heart. Verse 11. The Most High judgeth the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. Okay, so Esau Edom, yes, he's gonna bring forth. The Lord's gonna use Esau Edom to bring forth judgment, but Esau Edom, he's not exempt from judgment, because he is the wicked himself. Okay, pretty much the Lord is using Esau Edom to come up against the wicked of our people and the wicked of this world in general, because the Lord said, I'm going to reward every man according to their ways, according to their deeds. Okay, so the Lord is just a just judgment. Okay, but Esau himself, he's not exempt. Okay, that's why the Lord said, how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? Okay, because why? Because the Esau Edom is being used, all right, to execute the Lord's judgment. Okay, and he himself is not exempt from judgment. He's going to be judged himself, all right, very, very harshly. Okay, this is verse 12. If he turn not, he will whet his sword, he will bend his bow and made it ready. Okay, so that the bow, going to the sword as well, is talking about these missiles. All right, verse 13. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutor. So Esau Edom, again, so white man, he's going to fall upon his own sword. Okay, the things he created for death and destruction is going to be upon his own self. Okay, so death is going to be his recompense. All right. So let me close out. Here's Psalm 37 and 12. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. So going to Jacob's trouble, the Esau Edom is trying to come upon all our people. Okay, all these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so Esau Edom, he's trying to plot against us. Okay, because that's what he's been doing from the beginning, because of his envy. Okay, he's always trying to come against his brother Jacob with the sword. All right, so Psalm 37 and 12. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. So Esau Edom is making all these plans and plots to come up against us. All right, but the Lord is looking right above him and saying, hey, you're next. Okay, and the Lord said, touched under my anointed, do my prophets no harm. So Esau, when he comes down, all right, which the Lord is controlling him in the first place, the Lord is going to checkmate him. All right, by what? Raising up that standard. Okay, so we don't have to worry about it. All right, this is verse 14. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. So the Lord, sees all this. Okay, because Esau, he thinks that he's going to be able to come up and fulfill his new world order, chip everybody, so on and so forth, all right, to fulfill, his agenda. But that's not going to come to pass, okay, because the Lord sees everything that's happening, and the Lord's going to be what? always with his men, okay, and defend us from these times we're coming into. So we don't have to worry about this, okay. But Esau is not worried about you jakes that's already in the world, that's already, have no clue what's going on, because you're easy. You're already consumed. All right. Esau's issue is getting rid of the ones that like we just read, that be of upright conversation. Okay. So here it is, verse 15. Their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. So, Esau, when going inside the lesson, be ye afraid of sword. Esau's blessing is a sword, but his blessing is his curse. Okay, because he that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. Okay, so Esau, Edom, like you just read, he's gonna fall upon his own sword. You draw it out to fall upon his own sword. All right, and that's gonna be his destruction. Okay, so I think that was it. Yeah, that's it. That's the point of the lesson. Okay, the sword of the Lord. All right, is Esau, Edom, so white men. All right, but though Esau is gonna do a number on 2/3 of our own people. All right, Esau is gonna be destroyed by that same blessing in the kingdom. When our 2/3 of our people are woken up, all right, into their glory and waking up to their shame, all right, they're gonna be coming down upon Esau. Okay, that's just the balance. All right, but that's pretty much it. That's the point of the lesson. So with that, Lord's word is be edifying. As always, want to give all praise to Yahweh Shai, Bashim Prakwadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the